When you move to a different country, how long does it take to adjust and get used to the new reality, to the new environment? I made a research on it, and one article says 6 to 12 months. Another says 2 years. And other articles go up to 5 or even 7 years, depending which expert you listen to and which circumstances you describe. After arriving in a different country, expatriates slowly begin to get accustomed to their new home and know what to expect from their surroundings. Daily activities become routine, and the ways of the host country are accepted as another way of living. I know that many people who watch this service today went through this experience themselves. Many of you moved to a different country, or perhaps your parents or great-parents moved and you remember them speaking about it. Such is the nature and historical irony of Jewish community. One of the most ancient people in the world have been wandering from country to country for the most of its known history. It can be understood as a blessing or as a curse, depending who you speak to or which perspective you take. One may say that the entire world has moved to a new country in the last 6 months, and now all of us need to adjust and experience the cultural shock. Almost all people had this cultural shock, and the question is, how can the collective Jewish experience help us to live through this move? Franz Kafka was a German-speaking novelist and short story writer, the major figure of the 20th century literature. Kafka was born into a middle-class German Jewish family in Prague. It is well known that Kafka was uneasy with his Jewish heritage. At times he declared himself an atheist, yet his diary is full of references to Yiddish writers and thoughts about Jewish life. Kafka is called the symbolic figure of his era. He was native Jewish, Czech, and to Jewish, Czech, and German cultures. Kafka was in a unique position. He belonged to all three cultures, but at the same time, he did not fully belong to any of them. This notion is expressed in one of his short stories entitled My Destination. I gave orders for my house to be brought round from the stables. The servant did not understand me. I myself went to the stable, saddled my horse, and mounted. In the distance I heard Dachshund call. I asked him what this meant. He knew nothing and had learned nothing. At the gate he stopped me, asking, "Where are you riding to, master?" "I don't know," I said. "Only away from here, always away from here. Only by doing so can I reach my destination." "And so, you know your destination?" he asked. "Yes," I answered. "Didn't I say so? Away from here, this is my destination." "You have no provisions with you," he said. "I need none," I said. "The journey is so long that I must die of hunger if I don't get anything on the way. No provisions can save me, for it is fortunately a truly immense journey." Each year, Jews are commanded to build temporary, frail tents and live in them for 7 days. The Torah says that it is a reminder of the Exodus from Egypt. Scholars say that most likely this tradition originates in a celebration of the end of agricultural year, like many other cultures do. In fact, the Torah itself says the same. Apart from these reasons, there are many other explanations which can give an additional meaning to this festival. Some people say that Sukkot is a chance for us to spend more time in nature and get a spiritual experience from contemplation. In the words of Maimonides, God allowed ancient Jews to bring sacrifices because ancient Jews were not ready for a higher level of spiritual worship. Now God allows us prayer until we are ready for contemplation. Perhaps sometimes it is good to feel connected with natural cycles of the universe and to understand ourselves and our environment a bit better. Some people say that Sukkot is an opportunity for us to welcome guests and spend a little time together with others. This tradition is called Ushpizin. We welcome friends and strangers to our sukkah as if they were Moses, Aaron, Miriam, and other biblical characters. Unfortunately, current circumstances don't allow us to have many in-person guests, visitors in our sukkah, but those imaginary biblical ones can become our company. Some say that the experience of spending time and eating in the sukkah is about putting yourself in a position in the shoes of those who do not have a solid roof above their heads. Remember that you and your ancestors were strangers and refugees. Remember that there were kind people who helped them and gave them support, sometimes money, clothes, and believed in them. Now it is our turn to give support to modern strangers and refugees. One day their children may remember this kindness and give it back to your descendants. Sukkot forces us to go out of our permanent structures, take a step back and see the world from the outside. Sukkot is our annual journey to the place called away from here, which makes us to move, prepares us for unexpected changes, and makes us understand the fragility of all material things. I know that not everyone has an opportunity to build a sukkah this year. This is why Rabbi Alex and myself decided to bring Sukkot and a bit of natural world to the homes of those who watch this service via the live stream or in the sanctuary. And we asked some members of our community to film themselves in their sukkah or in their favorite place outside, in a park, in a garden. This is what we received.
Shabbat Shalom and Chag Sameach. For as long as I've lived in this house, which is a long time, I've built a small sukkah in the back garden. I invite you to enter the sukkah with me and recite the blessing for being in the sukkah, albeit virtually. So this little hut, covered with leaves, with fruit, and with dried flowers hanging down from its roof, is a reminder of the 40 years during which the Israelites were in the desert. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kideshanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu le'shev b'sukkah We praise you, eternal God, sovereign of the universe, who sanctify us by your commandments and enjoin us to dwell in the Sukkah. The mitzvah of living in a Sukkah, which I'm going to show you now, for 7 days goes all the way back to the Torah reading we heard this morning from Leviticus 23. You shall live in Sukkot, in booths for 7 days. All citizens of Israel shall live in booths, in order that future generations may know that I made the Israelite people live in Sukkot when I brought them out of the land of Egypt. I, the Eternal One, am your God.
Hello, my name is Merila Frankel, and I'm in my garden and walking down to my favourite spot, which is by the stream at the bottom of my garden. Coming down to the platform that borders the stream. Here is my stream, the village stream, and alongside is this huge growth of gunnerer, which, when you're underneath them, it feels as if you're in a Sukkot. My dog Crumble, enjoying exploring here under my gunnerer sukkah.
Hello. I don't have a sukkah, but hopefully I'll be spending a bit of time on my balcony if it's still sunny. I have a small tree that I've been having for a few years now, and many flowers that I planted from seeds a bit before lockdown. And I also have food already here because I have lots of grapes all around me, and I'm also trying to grow strawberries. So yeah, it's a very nice spot.
This is the view from our balcony on the edge of Northwood, a lovely oasis. There's traffic along the main road at the back, but it doesn't really bother us. And if you can't build a sukkah, what better place to pretend you have one? So here's Anne. Chag Sameach, everybody.
Yeah, what you doing, our Isaac? All right, Rebecca. I'm making a booth. Nice one. That's well meant, that. Thanks. Job's a good one. Aye, it's proper right good. Why though? What it is, right, is a mitzvah. A booth is a mitzvah. Aye, it's a mitzvah to build a booth. What you saying, like? It's to commemorate when we come out of Egypt, we'll live in booths. Did you learn that at yeshiva with Shem and Eva? Aye, I did, aye. Nice one.
Whatever layer of understanding of Sukkot you choose to uncover this year, may your tent be a safe, beautiful, friendly, and a meaningful space. May the frail sukkah with roof full of holes, help us to gain strength and prepare us for a new move in our journey. Ken Yehi Ratzon. May this be God's will.